Hello, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Ashley Miller, and this is episode 5 to my brand new podcast, Bridging the Gap. Last episode, I talked a lot about embracing the surrender because that's a very big theme in my life currently. And that's one of the things I love most about doing this podcast right now before it's out is that I'm filming this in real time. So the topic I'm talking about, I slightly talked about in last podcast where I talked about moving in alignment versus moving in adrenaline. I was not going to film tonight. It's been 2 days since I filmed the last podcast, and I was kind of just taking a break, a breather. I didn't really want to force talking if I needed a break. Rest is also important in anyone's life. You cannot always be going, or else you reach burnout. And I felt like I was reaching that point the other day. I was kind of posting TikToks because I felt like I had to. I wanted to, stay relevant. I feel like there's a lot of pressure when it comes to social media. You want to grow your platform, you want people to want to listen to you, but it comes to a point where you're not being as intentional. You're just throwing things out to the wind when you don't have to do that. I feel like especially in so many people's lives right now, quality is everything. And the way that we are the most intentional with the things in our lives, that's generally the way we get the best outcomes when we are super intentional. And tonight, the reason why I decided to film was because I was literally laying in bed. It's 10 o'clock, it's now 10:50, and I had a TikTok come up on my page. It was a carousel slideshow of this couple that basically shared their story that they spent 5 years making an animated film at home. And obviously, I think we can all agree when we think of doing a project like that, you and your spouse just decided one day to make an animated short film at home. You're kind of like, where's this gonna go? What's really gonna happen from this? Are we wasting our time? Like all those limiting beliefs we've talked about that can hold you back. Like, what is really gonna come of this? I cried at the end of watching that slideshow because the very end, they're showing pictures that they are now considered for the Oscars, that they sent out their animated short film to these festival companies. I don't really know. I could be butchering that part, but like it's been shown at multiple movie festivals and it's now considered for the Oscars. And I literally saved the picture of like what their film looks like and how it's nominated. It is the background of my phone. It made me so emotional because I'm probably gonna get emotional right now. When I think about this, when I think about this podcast, I have thought about like, oh, this can't get that bad, this big, right? Like, how many people are actually going to want to listen to this? Where is this even going to go? Just a silly little podcast. But for me, this is everything to me because I'm putting so much of myself out there and it means so much to me. And I love what I'm doing. I feel like for the first time in my life right now, I'm doing something that I'm so in love with because I love talking about this stuff. And I really feel like this is going to be able to help a lot of people. And I also just feel like this is the most real and raw and authentic I've ever been in my life without caring what anyone else thinks. Like, I'm really just being me instead of living behind this fear of being too much and fear of that if I step away from everything that I've known, that I'm just gonna fail and I'm gonna drown and I'm not gonna make money and I'm not gonna survive. And it's just not true. I just really feel like right now, especially as the days have gone on, because I gave myself a break and I am like just trying to allow things to come to me naturally, which is really what happened to me today. I started to feel myself burn out the other day and because I feel so much pressure to do this podcast. And I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast that originally I was going to launch this at the beginning of December. And I started burning myself out thinking of all the content ideas I need to make to market this so that people will want to listen. And I was trying to force it, trying to force those ideas. And that doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for anyone. The times in my life where I am the most frustrated and tired is when I am trying to force something when it's maybe not supposed to come to me yet, or I'm trying to force something that doesn't fit. Because when you move in adrenaline and you force things, you experience friction. And we talked about this. When I saw that TikTok, and if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the picture. I'm holding my phone up. So sorry if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple, whatever. When I saw that TikTok, that hit such a chord for me, because if that is possible, if a couple at home can think of a random idea of a story they want to make into an animated film, and then after 5 years, they finally accomplish it and they send it out to see what would happen, and it's now being considered for the Oscars. When you have a dream like that, like there's something so magical about having something that feels so special to you that you just feel like you need to do, and to other people might seem crazy, but look where it led them. I just started to imagine myself of like, sky's the limit with this. I don't know what's gonna happen from here. I really don't. But why not I don't even want to say the word expect, but why not believe in the utmost success? Sky is literally the limit, but our old limiting beliefs are our scarcity mindsets. That's what makes us think that those things aren't going to happen when that's not true. But I know that I've had to do a lot of healing in order to finally get to this point where I finally actually do believe that this will be successful. I don't care how cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs I sound right now, because nothing's out. I haven't seen anything come from this, but I just feel in my bones there's something so special about what I'm doing. And no matter what, I am doing something that feels so real and authentic and special for me, where I don't feel imprisoned by my own fear. I got to a point this year when I was filming all my fitness and PCOS stuff where I just felt so exhausted. I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Not that I don't want to give up training, but I want to do something that makes me feel alive. I'm someone that my purpose of living, I feel like, derives from me doing something that I am passionate about. I want to know that I can use all of my creativity and everything I have inside of me for a big purpose. I don't know, this. And because of that, I just know that I dealt with the utmost resistance this year up until this point where I'm finally surrendering and doing this, going completely all in, because I was doing all of the things that no longer fit for me in my life. It used to fit: personal training, PCOS, fitness, nutrition. That was all perfect for an area of my life that I was completely aligned with. But I'm growing, I'm evolving, and it's no longer the missing piece to my puzzle. This is. And so when you are moving in alignment, the way that I feel right now, the way that I can best describe it so that way you can understand how it feels to move in alignment, even though I'm not making all of this money right now, even though this isn't out, I don't know anything, I don't have anything in front of my face for me to fully believe that this is the clear answer, I feel so at peace. I just have a calm understanding and happiness that I'm doing the right thing, because I know that I'm honoring myself. I feel in my bones I'm doing what God is intending me to do, because I know that when I was doing what I was doing before, I felt heavy, I felt chaotic, I felt depressed, I felt tired, and it didn't feel right anymore. So when you finally allow, whatever is, has been calling you, and you start following that, even through all the scariness, like do it scared, do it broke. I'm doing it broke. I'm doing this in debt right now. I am doing this in debt. I could be one of those people where you think like, oh, you're freaking nuts, like to just do this while you have all that in debt. I don't care anymore. I have nothing left to lose. I don't care. I would far rather go out trying and fighting for something that I feel is happiest and most joyful for me than to keep running myself into the ground, reiterating myself in something that isn't even really working that much anymore and isn't making me the most fulfilled. So do it anyways because your heart and soul is telling you to do it for a reason. It's guiding you. Listen to it. Follow the feeling that feels good. And, there might be a lot of times where you think you figured it out because that actually happened to me a lot of times this year. I thought I had figured it out more times than I can count, but it wasn't quite all there yet. Like I would get an idea in May. I got this idea that I thought my purpose was to make really inspiring videos. So I bought a new camera setup and I booked an Airbnb in Gatlinburg, 4 hours away. And I did this whole thing where I was going to film and it was just going to be so inspirational. And I was going to talk about my fear of being seen. And I came home and I made a video and I did it. And then I was like, so that's just like what I'm going to talk about is my fear of being seen. I can't just keep reiterating that over like what? And I recognized because I dropped the series. I didn't even continue it. I didn't even continue it because that wasn't the entire piece to the puzzle. There was still more to come. I was still meant to get more answers over time, which eventually I did. Eventually I did get to this podcast idea. It just had to come in divine timing. Trust the timing of your life. And I truly believe that I was not meant to do this podcast until literally this month. Being at home, stuck, doing this was the perfect timing because any month prior to this, I wasn't in the right state to give up those habits and I wouldn't sit down long enough to do this and be fully committed. I'm in a state of isolation for a reason. God is rewiring me right now and it's working. It is working. I am not the same person I was last weekend. I will tell you that. I'm not even the same person I was 2 days ago because I've learned something new in the last 48 hours. And each 24 hours that passes by, I keep learning something more because I'm in alignment and the answers are flowing to me. And it's just easy. That is when you know you are in alignment. Doors will open for you and you won't even be able to explain it. I have even gotten clients this week without even trying. I've had people reach back out to me that I've talked to in the past. So I'm still making money to be able to pay my bills and be able to focus on this. So I know that God is providing for me so I can get this up and off the ground the best way that I can and not rush it. I'm not going to just try to get this out there because I think that it needs to be out there right away so that way I can make money and blah, blah, blah. No. There is divine timing to this. I'm being prepped. This is being prepped and it's going to come out the way that it's meant to. And I'm very excited for that. So yeah, anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. This was a really special episode for me. I'm getting more and more confident as each day goes on. I'm obviously not even wearing makeup right now because I just wanted to film. I just wanted to talk. And that's how I know I'm falling just more and more in love with this process. And yeah. So anyways, guys, if you want to share with me what you're going through, if you can relate to this, if this has helped you, I want to know. I would love to hear it. But join me next time. It's going to be a good one.